Hello, friend. This is Regina. Today I want to share with you something very personal. It's a struggle that my husband and I have been going through for the last few years. For most of our lives, we believed we had a happy family. I homeschooled our children. We celebrated holidays. We did vacations. We had laughter. We had tears. We apologized when we felt like we had done something wrong and probably apologized more than what we should have because relationship mattered. We did the best we could with what we had and what we knew. Our son was married and he had a child, and our daughter was going to college and we were supporting her. She was living at home. But during those college years, we noticed her pulling away. She discovered her new sense of independence, and we saw less and less of her, even though she lived here. Then she got married, and we slowly became the problem in her story. We found ourselves walking on eggshells, not wanting to offend. We were told that we couldn't be trusted. And eventually, we lost our daughter and our grandchildren. The silence was loud. I kept hoping that she would remember all that we had shared, but she didn't. She's still alive, but we're erased from her life. This grief was unlike any that I had ever experienced. My brother was murdered when I was 20. My father died of cancer. So I know grief. I know the empty spaces in life. But this grief was different because it came by a choice. The child I loved decided I wasn't safe. I was no longer welcome. The shame and the guilt were crushing. We were questioning everything. Our parenting, our worth, our values, our identity. We lost sight of our own needs and even our own voice. Sometimes I avoided places where I thought she might be just because I didn't want to cause her what she believed was hurt. So 2 months before she left to go live in another country and work there, we were given some conditions that we needed to comply with, and it just felt like control and expectations. So we could no longer compromise. And in the middle of this loss, I kept thinking about God. God created the world the way any loving parent would do for their new child they're bringing home. And then he walked with Adam and Eve. And then after Adam and Eve, he talked with people. And then after Moses, it was the prophets and the priests that were the middleman between God and the people. And then after that, it was Jesus. And Jesus removed the sin that separated us from God. And then his sacrifice went even further in the fact that we then became the temple in which God dwells in. So whether we believe in him or not, we are still surrounded and enjoy all of his goodness, his beauty, his creativity, life itself. God speaks across cultures, generations. Throughout time, he has left no one out of his love.
I have given you time to respond, to seek my heart, and carefully consider your response. If you haven't heard anything else, please know that I love you. I have always desired to have a relationship with you. You hold all the cards. I only asked that you trust in me and me alone. Not me and your rocks, not me and the food that you eat, not me and your identity, not me and your incantations, not me and your affirmations, not me in the church you attend, not me and a prophet, priest, or spirit guide, nor the good deeds you do. Me and me alone. You have said there's always time. Unfortunately, over your life, you have treated me as though I have not existed and did not want me to be part of any of your life. I was not important enough. You have meant the world to me. I created it for you, and each new day, I gave you new mercies. No matter how much I tried to show you your worth, you couldn't receive it. Now your life is required of you, and you don't even know what you are stepping into. Oh, how I wish the current situation was different. I know the way because I am the truth that leads to life. I do not want you to enter eternity alone, but you do not know me, nor my voice, to hear my call. I provided for you a way to escape the current destruction and to make your life on earth one that we could have enjoyed together. I laid the groundwork for relationship with me, and that was Jesus and only Jesus. And to enter into my presence, it was up to you accepting what he did for you. All I wanted was for you to tell me how you were doing, where you wanted to go, and what was happening. Then to let me partner with you and show you more than you could think or imagine. But I was not important enough. I did not mean anything to you. You will be leaving my presence now. I wanted to be with you in this passing, but now you are facing eternal separation. Here on earth, you could know me just by asking for truth, seeking for the way, and knocking at the door of life.
And still his children rejected him. But yet he remains faithful, holy, righteous, merciful. Not because we deserve it, but because that's who he is. When my daughter was 4, God gave me a picture in my mind of me walking in a garden and handing him to her and him asking, "Will you trust me?" I said yes. Today, that picture is really real. I'm trusting him with him. And for years, I thought that being strong meant not crying. And I would go through my pain silently so others wouldn't be burdened with it. But tears aren't unbelief. They're just an overflow of what's going on in my heart. And knowing that God stores my tears, they must be pretty precious. He turns my ashes into beauty. And my emotions aren't my enemy. They're just simply to show me how I'm really doing. Now I know my heart can hurt, while my mind still chooses truth. Then I realized in the middle of all my grief that Satan was whispering lies to her, but he was also whispering them to me. You're a failure. You're not a good parent. You failed. You're horrible. You're unlovable. But it's not God's words. So now I'm choosing to move forward. I'm not going to deny the pain. I'm not pretending it doesn't matter, because it sure does. And it still hurts. But I'm learning that God is greater than estrangement, rejection, and loss. And the purpose that he has for me is more than what I can think or imagine. My life has purpose beyond motherhood alone. So how did I climb out of this chasm of turmoil? With people who were strong enough to sit with me in my pain. People who acknowledged the weight of it, but didn't let me stay there. They saw my worth. They appreciated what I had, what could be possible. And they gave me a hand up when I couldn't stand on my own. Feelings are meant to be processed, but processing doesn't erase the grief or fill the emptiness or remove the days where you feel like dying from the heartbreak. And grief should not become the whole story. It should not control you. So at some point, you got to stand up on the inside and look towards the future, to take that next faithful step and to ask ourselves, where do I want to be tomorrow, next year, next month? Because if nothing changes, I don't want to stay where I'm at forever. We keep living for those who love us, for those who value us, for those who still want us in their lives. Right now, nothing has changed with my daughter. We're not reconciled. But my husband and I, we have found new meaning, new purpose, new hope. Our story's not over. God is still faithful. And if my daughter ever does turn back, my love will still be waiting for her. And if she doesn't, God is still faithful. He still wants me to rest in him. He still has a purpose for me. God continues to invite all of us back to himself through his world, through his word, and through his presence. People may reject him, but he never stops loving. Neither will I. So as you go about your day, thinking about tomorrow and who you want to become, for the people who love you and value your presence in their lives, don't just stay busy. Be intentional. Don't pour yourself out to people who refuse your presence. Instead, invest in the ones who receive your heart. I'm starting a new journey with people who value me. I'm really excited. I hope you will join me. I hope my story has encouraged you and blessed you. And I pray that today is a good day.